Life, in its essence, offers us a variety of experiences and moments that are often unpredictable and full of challenges. However, it is in the way we face these challenges that the true quality of our existence is defined. At times, we find ourselves consumed by worries we cannot control, by fears of the future or regrets of the past. But there is something that can transform all of this, the practice of inner tradition, which is the pursuit of a state of peace within oneself, where the mind becomes the guide and the heart the path. In the teachings of various ancient philosophies, it is said that the mind has immeasurable power. Not only does it shape our perception of reality, but it also profoundly influences our physical and emotional well-being. The way we choose to think can therefore become a transformative power, capable of leading our lives in a more harmonious and positive direction. The first step to achieving this is understanding the workings of the mind and how to cultivate a mindset more oriented towards peace and balance. One of the most powerful practices we can adopt is mindfulness. This is a mental state in which we commit ourselves to be fully present in the moment we are living, without losing ourselves in thoughts that take us away from the now. This allows us to live more consciously, without being distracted by concerns about what happened or what may happen. If we dedicate our attention to what we are doing, to what we are feeling, to what we are experiencing, we begin to live life more fully and completely. Let's imagine, for example, that you are simply drinking a coffee. Instead of doing so automatically, with your mind preoccupied with various other things, you allow yourself to truly savor the moment. Every sip, every sensation the coffee provides. This is living mindfully. Every detail of our day, from the sound of a falling leaf to the warmth of the sun, is an opportunity to connect with what is truly important, the present. And by doing so, we are able to cultivate more gratitude and harmony within ourselves. Moreover, the practice of mindfulness also teaches us how to manage negativity. Often, the mind tends to focus on what is going wrong, on failures or difficulties, but by bringing our attention to the present moment, we can distance ourselves from the traps of excessive criticism and anxiety. The mind, like a garden, must be tended to constantly. If we allow negative thoughts to take over, they spread like weeds, preventing the garden from flourishing. However, by choosing to cultivate gratitude, patience, and acceptance, we create fertile ground for happiness. Now, it's important to understand that maintaining a positive mind doesn't mean ignoring difficulties. After all, we all go through tough times. The true power of positivity lies in how we face these challenges. The practice of being in the now and giving proper attention to our emotions can be an effective way of dealing with challenges. In Buddhism, much is said about the power of the mind and how, by transforming it, we can transform the world around us. It's not about having an illusory view of life, but learning to deal with adversity in a more balanced and peaceful way. Therefore, as we begin the practice of mindfulness, we are not only freeing ourselves from the chains of the past and the future, but also opening ourselves up to the possibilities that the present has to offer. It is a constant choice to be more aware, to perceive more deeply, and to find balance even in times of turbulence. If you are ready to take the next step in your journey, we can explore together the power of gratitude, a practice that can complement and further strengthen this inner transformation. Would you like to continue with this now? Gratitude is one of the simplest yet most profound practices that can significantly transform your life. In a world where we are constantly bombarded with distractions, expectations, and pressures, it's easy to overlook the small blessings we already have. However, once we make the choice to actively focus on what we're grateful for, we unlock a sense of abundance and positivity that can shape our entire outlook. What makes gratitude so powerful? At its core, it redirects our attention away from what we lack and brings us back to what we already possess, both in material and emotional terms. This shift in perspective can change the way we perceive the world around us. Instead of looking at life through a lens of scarcity, we begin to see it through a lens of abundance, and this mindset fosters peace and fulfillment. It's interesting to note that scientific research supports the profound impact that practicing gratitude has on both our emotional and physical well-being. Studies have shown that those who regularly practice gratitude experience lower levels of stress, improved sleep, and enhanced relationships. Gratitude has even been linked to stronger immune systems and better overall health. This is because when we focus on positive aspects of our lives, we begin to release feel-good hormones like serotonin and dopamine, which help us feel happier and more content. In order to integrate gratitude into our lives, one simple yet effective method is to maintain a gratitude journal. Every day, take a moment to jot down 3 things you are thankful for. They can be as simple as enjoying a warm cup of tea or as significant as the love and support from family and friends. The goal is to make gratitude a daily habit, and over time, you'll begin to notice how much more you have to appreciate in your life. Another powerful practice is expressing gratitude to others. We often take for granted the people who make a difference in our lives, but a simple thank you can go a long way. It might be a colleague who always has your back at work, a friend who listens when you need to talk, or a family member who's there for you in tough times. When we express our gratitude, we not only uplift the other person, but we also deepen our connection with them. However, gratitude is not just about celebrating the good moments, it's also about acknowledging the tough ones. Life is filled with challenges, and it's easy to feel frustrated or defeated when things don't go as planned. But even in difficult times, there are lessons to be learned and growth to be achieved. When we choose to see adversity as an opportunity for growth, we begin to transform setbacks into stepping stones. This shift in mindset is crucial because it empowers us to approach difficulties with a sense of acceptance rather than resistance. It's important to note that gratitude is not a passive feeling. It's an active practice that requires intention and effort. The more consistently we focus on what we're grateful for, the more we train our minds to seek out the positive in every situation. Over time, this rewiring of our brain begins to feel more natural, and we begin to embody a state of gratitude, which ultimately leads to a more peaceful and content life. In the realm of inner tradition, gratitude is seen as a bridge between the external world and the internal peace we seek. By consistently practicing gratitude, we align ourselves with a state of harmony and balance. This alignment creates space for other positive practices to flourish, such as compassion, forgiveness, and mindfulness. It is through this balance that we begin to experience the fullness of life, not as a series of disconnected moments, but as a harmonious flow of experiences that contribute to our overall sense of well-being. As you begin incorporating gratitude into your daily routine, you might notice how it changes the way you approach even the smallest tasks. For example, something as routine as washing the dishes or commuting to work can become opportunities to practice gratitude. Rather than viewing these activities as mundane chores, you begin to see them as moments of mindfulness where you can express appreciation for the simple act of being alive. Now, before we dive into further practices that will continue to strengthen your inner peace, I would love to ask for your support in making this journey even more enriching for you. If this content is resonating with you and you feel it has the potential to positively impact your life, I'd love for you to share this video with others. Not just for the sake of growing a community, but because the power of inner peace and gratitude is something that we all can benefit from, especially in today's fast-paced world. Maybe you have a friend who could use a little more peace in their life, or perhaps someone you know is looking for ways to cultivate a more positive mindset. By sharing this video, you're not just passing along content, you're sharing the possibility of transformation. And in return, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What are some things you are grateful for today? Please feel free to drop a comment below, and let's build a conversation that nurtures this journey of peace together. It's not always easy to make time for ourselves, but the more we embrace gratitude and mindfulness, the more we realize how much power we hold in shaping our experiences. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. This space is all about creating a community of support and growth, where we can inspire each other to live with intention and peace. We've covered a lot of ground so far, and in the next section we'll explore how to deepen our practice of inner tradition through compassion and kindness. Ready to dive in? As we continue our exploration into the practices of inner peace and well-being, one of the most transformative qualities we can cultivate is compassion. Compassion is not just about being kind to others. It's about creating a deep sense of empathy and understanding that allows us to see the suffering of others and act from a place of love and care. When we embrace compassion, we open our hearts to the world around us, and in doing so, we heal ourselves as well. At the core of compassion is the ability to recognize the humanity in others. This means not only acknowledging their joys and successes, but also recognizing their struggles and vulnerabilities. Life can be challenging for everyone, and it's easy to fall into the trap of judgment or indifference. But compassion calls us to see beyond the surface, to understand that everyone is fighting their own battles, even if we can't always see them. Think about a time when you felt lost or misunderstood. In those moments, a simple gesture of kindness or even just a word of encouragement can make a world of difference. This is the power of compassion. It doesn't always require grand gestures. Sometimes, the smallest acts of kindness have the most profound impact. One of the simplest ways to practice compassion is through active listening. This means fully present with someone when they speak, without judgment or the urge to respond right away. Often, when we listen with our full attention, it creates a safe space for the other person to express themselves. This act of truly hearing someone can be incredibly healing, and it shows them that they are valued and seen. Another way to practice compassion is by offering support in times of need. It doesn't always have to be something material. It could be a helping hand, an open ear, or simply being there for someone when they need to talk. In a world that can sometimes feel isolating, offering a bit of our time and attention can make a significant difference in someone else's life. Compassion is also about understanding the suffering in the world at large. While it's important to take care of those close to us, it's equally important to extend our care and concern to the global community. This could mean getting involved in causes that support those in need, donating to charitable organizations, or simply raising awareness about important social issues. Compassion doesn't have to be a grand, world-changing act. It can start with small actions that ripple outwards. But let's not forget that self-compassion is just as essential as compassion for others. We can often be our own harshest critics, judging ourselves for our mistakes, shortcomings, and perceived failures. Yet true inner peace can only arise when we allow ourselves the same understanding and kindness that we offer to others. Self-compassion means treating yourself with the same care, empathy, and forgiveness that you would show to a loved one. It's okay to stumble. It's okay to make mistakes. What matters is that we learn, grow, and continue moving forward with love and understanding. The practice of self-compassion is deeply rooted in mindfulness. By being present with our own emotions without judgment, we can acknowledge our pain, sadness, and frustrations without identifying with them. This allows us to release the negative thoughts that can weigh us down and move toward healing. Over time, this practice helps us develop a stronger, more compassionate relationship with ourselves and others. In addition, kindness is the natural extension of compassion. While compassion involves understanding and empathy, kindness is the action that follows. Kindness can take many forms, whether it's a smile, a compliment, or helping someone in need. These small gestures of kindness, when done consistently, create a culture of goodwill that fosters peace and connection. You may be wondering, how do we make kindness a habit? It's about creating a mindset that actively seeks out opportunities to help others. Start by looking for ways to brighten someone else's day, whether it's a friend, a stranger, or even someone you may not particularly get along with. When we choose to act with kindness, we don't just improve the lives of others. We also enrich our own lives by creating a sense of fulfillment and joy. But just as with gratitude and compassion, kindness is not always easy. It can be challenging, especially when we're dealing with people who are difficult or when we're feeling drained ourselves. Yet, even in these moments, we have the power to make a conscious choice. We can choose kindness over anger, patience over frustration, and understanding over judgment. And here's where the beauty of the inner tradition comes into play. When we embrace compassion and kindness, we align ourselves with the deeper currents of the universe, forces that are inherently supportive and nurturing. By living from a place of compassion, we become conduits of positive energy in the world, and this energy flows back to us in the form of peace, connection, and fulfillment. Now, as we explore these practices and bring them into our lives, I'd love to hear about your experiences with compassion and kindness. What are some ways you've been able to show compassion to others or to yourself? Is there someone in your life who could benefit from a little extra kindness today? Drop a comment below and let's inspire each other with our stories of care and empathy. As we venture deeper into this transformative journey, we now turn our attention to one of the most powerful tools for cultivating inner peace and harmony: mindfulness. Mindfulness is not just a practice, it is a way of living, a mindset that allows us to embrace the present moment fully and with intention. In our fast-paced world, it is all too easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of thoughts, distractions, and constant demands. Yet mindfulness offers us a sanctuary from this noise, allowing us to return to the present, where true peace resides. To begin, let's clarify what mindfulness really is. At its core, mindfulness is the art of paying attention to the present moment with a sense of openness, curiosity, and without judgment. It means being fully aware of what is happening right now, whether it's the sensation of your breath, the sound of birds outside your window, or the taste of food in your mouth. Mindfulness invites us to experience life as it is, without getting lost in our thoughts about the past or future. One of the most effective ways to practice mindfulness is through breathing exercises. The breath is always with us, a constant anchor to the present moment. When we focus on our breath, we shift our attention away from the mental clutter and ground ourselves in the here and now. Try taking a few minutes each day to close your eyes and focus solely on your breathing. Inhale slowly through your nose, allowing your lungs to fill with air, and then exhale through your mouth, releasing any tension or stress. This simple act of conscious breathing can work wonders for calming your mind and reconnecting with the present moment. But mindfulness goes beyond just breathing. It's about cultivating awareness in all areas of life. For example, next time you're eating, try to fully experience the act of eating. Notice the textures, the flavors, the temperature, and how the food nourishes your body. This practice of mindful eating can transform something as routine as a meal into an opportunity to connect deeply with yourself and your environment. Another powerful form of mindfulness is mindful walking. This practice involves walking slowly and intentionally, paying attention to each step you take. Feel the ground beneath your feet, the movement of your legs, and the rhythm of your body as it moves through space. You might be surprised at how much you notice when you engage with your surroundings in this way, whether it's the sound of leaves rustling in the wind, the scent of fresh air, or the beauty of a sunset. Mindful walking is a wonderful way to ground yourself and clear your mind, especially when you're feeling overwhelmed or disconnected. Mindfulness also invites us to embrace our thoughts and emotions without judgment. It's natural for the mind to wander, to get caught up in worries or anxieties. But mindfulness teaches us that we don't have to be controlled by these thoughts. Instead of resisting them or getting frustrated, we can acknowledge them and allow them to pass without attachment. This approach helps us develop a sense of inner freedom, where we no longer feel trapped by our emotions or mental patterns. One of the most profound benefits of mindfulness is the sense of presence it fosters. When we are truly present, we are fully engaged with our lives. We begin to notice the small things, the warmth of the sun on our skin, the sound of laughter from a loved one, the beauty of nature around us. These moments, which often go unnoticed in our busy lives, become rich with meaning when we approach them with mindfulness. It's about being awake to life, rather than rushing through it or living on autopilot. Moreover, mindfulness helps us build a deeper connection with others. When we are present with someone, we are truly listening, not just waiting for our turn to speak or thinking about what we're going to say next. This kind of active, attentive listening fosters intimacy and understanding. It allows us to connect on a deeper level, and it strengthens our relationships in ways that go beyond surface-level conversation. Another benefit of mindfulness is that it reduces stress and promotes emotional well-being. Studies have shown that mindfulness practices can lower levels of anxiety, depression, and even physical pain. By staying present and non-judgmental, we free ourselves from the constant cycle of negative thinking and emotional reactivity. We create space for peace, calm, and clarity to emerge. The key to mindfulness is consistency. It's not about doing it perfectly or having an empty mind. It's about showing up day after day with patience and acceptance. Over time, the practice of mindfulness becomes a natural part of your life, a tool you can use to navigate challenges, celebrate joys, and simply be more connected to yourself and others. As we wrap up this segment, I want to invite you to reflect on your own experiences with mindfulness. Have you ever practiced mindfulness in any form, whether through meditation, breathing exercises, or just paying more attention to the present moment? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Let's support each other as we explore this powerful tool together. If you found this video helpful, I encourage you to share it with someone who might benefit from it. We all have the potential to live with greater mindfulness, and the more we share these practices, the more we can create a ripple effect of peace and presence. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. This channel is a space where we continue to grow, learn and support each other on the journey toward greater inner peace and well-being. In our next video, we'll dive into the practice of self-reflection and how taking time to look inward can help us better understand ourselves and our path. I'm excited to continue this journey with you, so stay tuned. Thank you for being here. Your presence, your attention, and your commitment to personal growth are what make this community so special. Keep practicing mindfulness, and remember, you are always enough, just as you are.